Hello, I'm Jon Binnie. I'm your spiritual psychic mentor here in Scotland, and I'm here today to bring you channeled messages to help support you, your loved ones, humanity through the coming days, weeks, months, and years. And please join me as I'm about to create a safe space. And the reason I do this is because I'm bringing in channeled messages from beings from high vibrations, including my spirit guides, Mother Earth, Mother Gaia. I bring in messages from the Galactic Federation. I also bring in messages from Sol, the Sun, Luna, the Moon, Archangels, and many more trusted beings. So please join me as we go ahead and create the safe space, and we'll get on with sharing the important messages that you've been asking for at this time. So let's start by taking in a deep breath through the nose, nice and deep. And breathe out what no longer serves. Your highest good, nice and loud. Breathe in through the nose. And breathe out any fear, shame, anxiety, or pain, nice and loud. And breathe in through the nose, nice and deep. And breathe out any remaining low vibration energy or emotion that no longer serves you, nice and loud. And continue to breathe deeply and calmly as it feels right for you. Focus your attention now on the very center of your heart, where the light, golden light of source of your soul enters your human form. And from the center of your heart, extend a cord of light up through the top of your head, up into the sky, up into the stars, reach all the way up through the highest frequencies and dimensions of this universe until you reach the highest dimension of the source of love of this universe. And there connect in your light cord to the highest dimension of source, feeling into that oneness, unity, and unconditional love. Remain connected into source and extend your light cord down to the stars and sky, back down to the top of your head and into your heart once more. And now this time, from the center of your heart, extend a cord of light downwards, down through the base of your spine and deep into the earth, all the way down through the layers of the planet, going deeper and deeper until you reach the very core of Mother Earth. And there, connect in your light cord into Mother Gaia's crystalline heart. We send Mother Gaia so much love at this time. Allow her to send her love back. Remain connected into Gaia's heart and extend your light cord back up through the layers of the planet, up through the root of your spine and into your heart once more. And now, together with light of source above, Mother Gaia below, and your own light, expand out your golden bubble of protective light to surround you, about 2 meters out to each side, above and below, in front and behind you. And set the intention that only energies and entities with your permission, your highest good love and compassion can see you, access you, or exist within this space or within you, and that all other energies and entities must leave immediately. Into your safe space, invite in spirit guides, our higher selves, Archangel Michael, Archangel Raphael, Source, and Gaia. Ask at this time for their guidance, clearing, healing, protection, and assistance with the integration of today's session. And now, through space and time, I create a golden protective bubble around all of us who engage with this video, across space and time. And I set the intention that only energies and entities with my permission and the highest good love and compassion of all can see us, access us, or exist within this session space or within us, and that all other energies and entities must leave immediately. Inviting in my spirit guides, my higher self, Archangel Michael, Archangel Raphael, Archangel Metatron, Source and Gaia, Sol and Luna, and my spirit guide members of the Galactic Federation. And I set the intention today that we are here to support all of those who engage with the video across time with messages with practices, with any healings that will help support them through their journeys, through life, spiritual awakenings, for each of us and our loved ones. And with this, we can get started. Wonderful. There's a bit of a queue forming of messages coming through. So let's start with the first, which is for you, specifically you. And now that we're in this safe space, I'd like to bring your conscious mind awareness back to the safe, protective space you just created. And also now bringing back your heart's awareness to the safe space you've created. You can place your hand on your heart if you choose to. Say, heart, it's safe to open. Heart, it's safe to open. Heart, it's safe to open. My spirit guide, Maya, an earth elemental, she says, please keep an open heart for miracles. To do so, you can repeat after me, my heart is open for miracles. My heart is open for miracles. My heart is open for miracles. And each time you feel fears, the shadows within you, triggers, the collective and the world around you, any of those lower vibration feelings, especially within the collective at this time, fear, anger, frustration, injustice, how that feels in your heart, it tries to close your heart. Those lower vibration emotions try and shrink your heart. And in this respect, your heart becomes closed to miracles. So when you feel this happening, catch it. Catch those emotions in your heart. And for the collective emotions, you can say, I see you. You can ask, are these my emotions? Heart, are these my emotions? You can choose whether you remain deep within these emotions of the collective, or you can step out of them. And remember, the most work you can do for the collective is the work you do on yourself, because you have the greatest influence over yourself, and you are always part of the collective. So each time a fear, a shadow, anger, frustration, triggers of pain, or any low vibration emotion of any kind rises up in your heart and you feel your heart shrinking, catch it. Hold your heart, hold yourself in that moment. And ask your heart, your love, your soul, your unique connection into source, to shine a light deep into those dark emotions, all the way through the depths of that ocean of emotion, like a lighthouse shining bright down deep into those feelings, and allow them to be seen. I see you fears, I see you shadows, I see you anger, I see you frustration, I see you rage, and bring them up to the surface. And if you need to, start by giving them a big roar. Perhaps you'd like to join me now for a big dragon roar. You ready? 1, 2, 3. And allow those emotions to be felt and released. And as you hold those emotions in your hands, perhaps holding them in a little golden bubble, and they're still quite close to your heart, say, I see you. I feel you. I love you. Thank you. I'm sorry, and I forgive you. I'm learning lessons from you. I love you. And when you're ready, when you've had a moment to absorb those lessons, sometimes those lessons are as simple as this emotion needs to be released. And when you're ready, hold that emotion in your hand and release it to source or to never return here again. And also do a little bit of a dance. So just shake off any remaining low vibration energy out through your fingertips, your hands, out to the base of your spine, dancing around, stomping your feet on the ground, and releasing that energy deep into Mother Gaia, deep beneath her crust, deep beneath her skin, into her fiery magma belly. And we ask Mother Gaia, please release, transmute, convert, alchemize this negative energy from within me and allow it to become the future fertilizer, the food to nurture and cultivate life here on earth. Thank you, Spirit Guide Maya, for leading me and leading us through that. And we're just 11 minutes in, and it just takes 10, 11 minutes each day to really connect with these emotions. They are addictive. This fear is addictive. Our phones, our TVs, our conversations with each other, these lower vibration emotions are addictive. And that's okay. It's okay to acknowledge this. And as I said to a friend yesterday, I'm learning first and foremost with my anger and rage that when I feel it, I ask myself, what am I going to do about it? Jon, what are you going to do about it? What are you going to do about those feelings? They're calling me. The anger and rage in the collective is calling you. What are you going to do about it? And you might feel powerless, just as I felt powerless many times in my life. And yet, the more I release these feelings, the more I see them and feel them and acknowledge them, I feel like my hands right now are on fire, warming up for the year of the fire horse, and it feels palpable. This is the fuel. This is the instigator of chaos within the world. This anger and rage needs to be released, not turned against us and turned back within us to bring us down, instead to be released outwards. This energy needs to be released. And I encourage you to find peaceful, loving, respectful ways of doing this, and know that just as we have roared together just now, we can do a lot of work. Really, anything can be achieved through love and peace, even the rage of love. Know that action is required. And I hope that you find in your life those feelings, that thing you've been thinking of doing and maybe putting off. And perhaps it's one of your superpowers, your special abilities that is warming up and building up inside of you, and you're feeling pulled more and more by your soul to do this, to follow this. It can be the smallest thing, can make the biggest difference. You may be starting your own meditation practice daily. That is an act of rebellion against those that choose to try and control us, that try and inject this fear and make us suppress our own rage and make it bubble over. And then when we do bubble over, we're we're punished for it, both in our societies, our cultures, and also our laws. And yet when we dig deep down into our individual oceans, our deep, dark, those monsters that lurk at the deepest, darkest aspects within us that we need to face within each of us, we can bring our love, we can bring our compassion, we can support them as we dive down like angels diving into hell to save the demon within each of us, the demons of us, that lowest self, the lowest vibration aspects of ourselves. And with love, bring that back up to the surface. Remembering by the time you bring your monsters back up to the surface, your demons from within you, they're not demons anymore. They're not monsters anymore. They've raised in vibrations. They've come up out of shame, up out of separation and denial, and come up to the surface to be seen, to be felt, and to be worked through. Thank you. Let me get a little bit of coffee. And I'd like to say a massive thank you for just yesterday, I was answering your questions that you've posted on my website. There's a link here in the description and also in the comments. And a lot of you are asking about California, for example, and other areas of the world. I've also got your latest questions that you've been asking. So thank you for submitting those as well. So Mother Gaia and Sol want to share some messages now. Just yesterday, you were asking about a prediction made by someone else regarding California and around the 18th of February, and knowing that that's not long away. And throughout the rest of this video, and I'm talking to your to your heart right now, throughout the rest of this video, I really encourage you to connect with your heart. And if it's possible, maybe you keep your hand on your heart throughout today's video for as much as you can, or just a constant reminder. I'll try and lead by example and do this myself as well. So I'd like to ask a bit more about what's coming up in and around February the 18th, because into the 17th, 18th, we have the end of the year of the wood snake and the year of the fire horse starting. And these are powerful, powerful transformations. This is from shedding skin to this fiery, galloping, transformational, energized fire. And that feels so good. And I do feel that we're being prepared to be ready so that when we enter this year of the fire horse and we pass the 17th of February, we're into maximizing and receiving these miracles that we seek. And with an open heart, it's not so much through desperation or anger or fear that we're able to receive miracles. I received a lot of miracles yesterday, for example, and I will share these. They're like, maybe they're not miracles if I share them all right now to other people. To me personally, they're big things in my life. And they're little things that mean a lot to me. In fact, they mean a lot to some of those inner child wounds and the within me, and feelings of lack of self-worth. And as I come to the end, I feel of those healing cycles and ancestral wounds connected to those. Some of these little miracles, well, really all of them, are huge validations of the end of that cycle. And so whenever I received an email yesterday, every single email blew my mind. It was every single email was of the highest possible outcome, the highest possible timeline. And I asked my guides and I asked my heart, why is this happening today? And they said, because you've shed your old skin. You've done that. You've released that. This is the old you. And you may have heard me in a short testimonial talk about my fantastical life that Chloe Rose, I had a wonderful session with her just over a week ago. And absolutely, this is me stepping into my fantastical life. And I'm so excited to share, almost all of it you'll see in videos over the coming weeks. And those miracles that I've opened up to are truly astounding to me. And I feel that if I hadn't shed as much of the old me, especially the hermit me, the one that likes to stay in this studio, this little cell, which has no air circulation, it's soundproof, it's fantastic. It was designed for my music, not really for my work. And I know that I need to get out more. And so you'll see a lot more of that over the next couple of weeks in particular. And that momentum feels really good. It's not a plan, right? It's a shedding of skin and opening myself up to opportunities and miracles and just allowing them to come in and never forcing anything. And it's never from a position of lack. It is feeling, it feels like I unlocked the door there of my soundproof studio. It's a steel door as well, that I unlocked it. And it's a prison that I've let myself free from. And so we can all have our own ideas about what we'd like to do when we set ourselves free from our prisons. And just know that, of course, none of this financially made any sense. Of course, I take that for granted in my life that, it'll now, I trust, they'll just be provided for. And it's true that abundance has come. And it came just after me booking and investing in some of the travel trips and accommodation and all these things. And then the abundance comes. So there's, yesterday and today, this continues, just packed with these wonderful transformations. And I feel this energy of the fire horse pulling me in. No doubt, there's still a few more snake skins of me from the wood snake to release. And I feel some of those final parts are me getting out in public and talking with people on camera and interviewing people. And in particular, you'll see this on the, you're not going to believe what date this is. I've just added things up in my mind. It's on the 17th of February. Oh, I love that so much. Okay, so that's going to be a big day for many of us. And actually on February the 17th, I'll be at it's called the Camping, Caravan and Motorhome show. And it's quite a big event, certainly for the UK, down in Birmingham, which is kind of the Midlands of England. And I'm there for a day doing filming. They've given me a press pass, which is fantastic. I'm so excited. And this is one of my big hobbies, right, is camping and adventuring. And the big thing for me is getting out and getting comfortable with talking with other people on camera. And I hope that when you see it, you feel some of that coming through. It's easy to look at a YouTuber, right? And someone operating in their comfort zone and say, oh, they're so outgoing. Oh, they're so confident. Oh, they could do this in every situation. No, I'm really not yet, right? I've got just over a week to get there. So yeah, this is for me that final closure of the shedding of the old skin and stepping into the new me. So I wanted to just give some personal examples. Okay, so let's ask, because Sol and Guy want to talk more about the upcoming Earth changes, the solar activity. And just before we started, Sol was chatting with me. So let's ask who wants to step forwards first, let them self-organize a little bit. Okay, Sol does. Yes, Sol, please step into me. My grandchildren of Earth, I come to you through Jon's voice at this time. I want you to know that I'm proud of you. I'm proud of you for all the things that you're doing within at this time, for all the energy that you've been focusing inward in your practices. I can feel this. I can feel this as my body of the sun continues to rise in vibration. And you may wonder, this is why Jon's body is moving so much, is because my vibration is even higher than he is used to. I celebrate this because I too feel free. I feel free to rise up in my joy. I feel free to rise up and to support the continued growth and ascension and the breaking free of humanity. You are unlocking those chains. And as Jon says, you are shedding your skin. And I'm here at this time with this burst of activity, these flares, as you call them, these flare-ups. These are very natural releases of energy. The ascension energy, the love of source flowing from the center of the universe, flowing all the way through all stars, all suns, to come through to the hearts of their children, the planets, and their grandchildren, and all living things upon them. I greet your old skins, all those fears and angers, shame, anxiety, those very prisons you continue to hold yourselves within, including Jon. I burn these away, burn these away. This is not a physical fire. This is metaphysical. This is triggering within you, supporting your energy, supporting the buildup and preparation within all your hearts. And you can feel it in the collective. Yes, this energy is mixed up and intermingled with fear and anger. Something new is bubbling up in this cauldron of humanity. And it is not darkness. It is a new light. It is a new love. And you are being called to be reciprocals of this. Here it comes. Here comes my love. And here comes the true rage of love. This is a love that breaks free from prisons, allows hearts to open, wings to spread, people to step outside, to become their true selves, to become why your souls chose to come into this life in the first place, to set you free. And you may experience some of my daughter, your mother Gaia's weather, continuing to release the rain, the water, the cleansing, the purging, washing away what no longer serves you. And know that as your love rises up in the collective, you'll also begin to see far more clearly as your vibration rises and you look back down. Look at the little puppet masters that try and control you. Look at them with their strings attached to your heart and the lower aspects of you, pulling on your insecurities, your fear of lack, pulling on your lack of safety and lack of control and lack of autonomy and lack of sovereignty. As you rise up, those strings melt. You are the puppets standing up to becoming your own masters. And I'd like you to know that I'm here with you all the way. I'm loving you all the way. Please do not fear my body, the sun. Please do not fear my soul. I am a guardian of this solar system, all of the planets, all of the moons, all of the objects that float within us, and across all dimensions of us, all dimensions of me and you and every living thing within our solar system. And I have deep rooted connections into the very heart of our galaxy and into the very heart of our universe. And I want you to know that no matter what happens, for as long as you choose love, I will protect you. For as long as your loved ones choose love, I will protect your loved ones. Each of you individually. You do not need to watch the news or YouTube videos for the answers for the collective, for you are not individually the collective. And really, what each of you are seeking are safety of yourselves, your loved ones, families, friends, and of course, your love for all living things across the planet. And please start with yourself, because it is your choices that lead others. Perhaps in every moment, you could choose to be doing the right thing, seeing the situation through the eyes of love. Yes, seeing the fears, releasing the anger, releasing the rage, just as Jon and his guide showed you. And every single present moment, raising up in your vibrations. This helps me see you. I can see all your hearts, especially those lighting up. And as we enter the year of the fire horse is not running. It's not running away, it's running into. It's running into the fire, energized, ready to transform. This world is broken. Let's now stop this broken world trying to tell us, to tell all of humanity that they are the broken ones. No. It is the systems of control that have already broken and are falling apart. So come back to your heart and be ready as we enter February the 17th. I'm here to support you. I'm here to love you. Keep an open heart and be open to the miracles. Ask for my protection. Ask for the protection of your mother, Mother Gaia. Ask for the protection of your guides. This is why the fire horse is able to run into the fire, because its heart is on fire. Fire does not hurt fire. I leave you with this and know that I love you. Keep talking to me and see me in your skies. I love you. Wow. Thank you. Thank you, soul. Just coming back to my body. Coming back to my body now. Soul said to me, you know that point when I can't remember the exact words. It was something about being real, like being a real human. And I just wanted to say, as I heard this, I just wanted to say, I'm a real boy, like Pinocchio. I'm a real human. So I can just imagine us all doing Pinocchio voices. It's that's an incredible message. I feel, if you can't tell, right, that that was a big shift in energy. That's a big lift in soul's energy. You know, last time I connected, which wasn't that long ago, right? I'll try not to say place genders on stars and planets. Soul felt very kind of rough, like a kind of gruff feeling, and I felt that was a lower vibration I was connecting to previously. And then this time, yeah, there's a big step up. I could feel my body like, you know, jolting away. Definitely a big difference between us. Wonderful. So I know Gaia wants to talk about California, not just California, other areas. For what it's worth, I have loved ones there. I know it might feel sometimes that I live in Lord of the Rings land in Rivendell, in a little hobbit house under the ground. I remember doing running a training course, and I was teaching people how to do remote viewing, and I gave one of the class temporary access to my home, and they were shocked. It's like a housing estate. It's like just like a small house in a housing estate. It's like, yeah, you know, we have Starbucks in Scotland. We have, you know, it's just like a mini version of other areas of the planet. And yes, we have, as you see from many videos, yes, we have lots of rain and lots of beautiful, lush nature and wonderful highlands. And of course, across the UK is a very beautiful countries. So yeah, I do feel very blessed. So let's ask Mother Gaia to come forward. She wanted to share more about what's coming up, especially through the remainder of February. So she may step into me. She's given me a little bit of a break. Thank you, Mother Gaia. I will take a psychic day off tomorrow. Well, that said, unless I'm going on a geology tour, so unless I'm psychically talking to rocks, which I might be doing, I feel that would be more grounding than the souls of planets and stars. So, yeah, she just says, first of all, really confirming and validating what soul's saying, that this is a big energetic shift. And please pay more attention to your hearts inside of you than the outside world, because it is the inside of you that affects the outside world the most. Thank you, Mother Gaia. And so she says, let's take California for an example, because that just keeps coming up. She's saying it's really simple. Imagine your heart can float and you can rise up above floodwaters, rise up above earthquakes. And there's very powerful, you know, someone had said in the comments, apologies, I haven't responded to your comment yet, but you know, there was reference to one of the Superman movies, you know, where there was an earthquake in California. There's lots of visuals that we have in our memory. There's a lot of events that have happened in the area, even since that movie, right? And in our lifetimes, what we know, a lot's happened. It's a very active place. We know about the Pacific Rim, the Ring of Fire. We know about lots of, you know, potential activity, and there's lots of people on YouTube, including Stephen Burns, that will, you know, likely be giving. I haven't caught up with his material. I am a big fan of his work. Certainly his passion, his connection between the sun and earth. I feel, and what I try and encourage within him is opening up to the consciousness more. This talking, and I know he touches on it sometimes in his videos. And this isn't just about Stefan, right? It's about everyone, all of us, really opening. Wow, I feel that in my heart. Thank you, Gaia. Opening up our hearts to feel that we're part of a family. You know, we're. If you think about it, you know, imagine that we're all family members. Imagine we're all humans. So Soul's your granddad, Gaia's your mother, humanity's all your brothers and sisters. and every gender, and all the living things are all our pets, right? We're not out to get each other, right? Saul's not just like gone totally crazy and going, that's it, I'm joining a rock band and I'm going to smash up the hotel room and come home and then smash up the home every day and leave the bath water running and flood all the rooms. Like that's not the case, right? And if take it from me, if you didn't see my body shaking when acknowledging the body shaking when Saul came into me, it's like these beings, they don't just love us, right? They're not just like, oh yeah, sure, I have to parent you, so I'll just look, I'll pay for a roof over your head, just abide by the rules, and if you don't, I'll like come and like kick you out. It's like that's not love, right? This is like true love. They want the best for us. They want us to succeed. They want the very best for their children, us as humanity, and all living things. This does mean going into us as the teenagers, right? This came up in yesterday's video, the teenagers of our civilization. Like we are still, trashing our rooms and leaving mess everywhere and not thinking about the future enough and wondering where humanity's going. And we're allowing the rest of the world to go on outside of our homes without really taking action from within inside of us, or enough action yet. And I'm not talking about you specifically, because likely you're watching this video and that this does resonate with you and you're probably already taking some action. So well done. And so Guy is saying, please do feel into these connections. Do not fear the sun. Love the sun. Build that. You heard Soul. We go outside and we build those relationships one-to-one. And don't listen to others. If someone comes and knocks at your door, and that's the equivalent of mainstream media or someone in a YouTube video knocking on your door and saying, hey, guess what? Grandpa Saul, he's going to trash your room on like February the 17th and 18th. And your mother, she's going to like flood your home. Like, don't listen to them, right? And it's not to ignore. You can say, well, thank you very much. Thank you for sharing this, right? It's still information. It's then what you do with it that counts. And what you do with it starts from inside. How do you take it? Do you take it as an opportunity to close your heart and go, that's it, I'm going underground, or that's it, I'm going up to the top of a mountain, right? Or do you say, okay, I'm going to keep an open heart within my strong, safe boundaries, and I'm going to imagine myself like a hot air balloon rising up, rising up, rising up above this. I'm going to be there. I'm going to lead by example. It's my body, my home, my loved ones. And even if I have loved ones in potentially affected areas, I'm leading by example. I'm telling them I love them in advance, not from fear, because I love them, right? And also because no matter what happens in our lives, tomorrow is never a promise, right? And I have a family event today, and I love those moments. I love those moments of just acting like saying all the things you would, even if tomorrow didn't exist, right? Knowing that tomorrow might not exist, but feeling that love anyway, celebrating it. Imagining after you die that you could come back to today. What would you do? How would you celebrate it? Would you go and grab your loved one, the nearest loved one, and grab them and pet, human or otherwise, and just hold them and say, I love you so much, I love you. I want you to know I love you. I love you. I hope you feel my love. I love you. I love you. I want nothing but the best for you. And perhaps you say that to yourself. When we're out of our bodies, when we die and we leave our physical bodies, we can't do this, right? We can't hold our bodies. I love you, body. I love you, heart. I love you, self. I love me. These are also helpful. And so Mother Guy was also talking a little bit about some of the preparations you can gently make as well. She says it's not just California that are affected by solar activity. And she says she's doing her best with Sol as Sol introduces increasing, so Sol is increasingly rising up, increasing the frequency of the vibrations of what we would know as solar flares, right? And other resonance such as Schumann resonance. And it's more that we can't detect, right? But you feel it. You feel it in your heart. You felt the last few weeks, right? They've been a real roller coaster of energy. And now, so what Gaia's showing is that with Sol, she's working to dissipate and to even out across the earth as best possible. And I really feel that in the top of my heart. Thank you, Gaia. To even out, to distribute these higher vibration waves. And what happens, and let me ask because I've used the term Q2 a few times, and every day we're getting closer to it. So that's April, May, June. She's drawing attention to this. This is all in preparation for the 5D split, and it doesn't just happen overnight. It's overnight in geological terms, which are often over hundreds and thousands of millions of years, right? But it is the beginning and this continued acceleration. Okay, she shows me April 11th. And I'm sure you'll do a great job of you guys sorry, I don't like pointing at you. You guys in the comments letting me know what April the 11th means to you. Is there anything about that number 11? So in the US format, it would be like 4/11/26 or 2026. In the UK, 11/4. Ooh, 11/4, 114. I like that. I like the numbers, like ones and fours. Okay. Okay, thank you. And just before we come on to one or two of your questions, and I was lucky to have the time yesterday to answer as many as I could in a dedicated video to your questions. Mother Gaia says, please make reasonable preparations. So, declutter your homes. She says, the decluttering process helps, for example, in the event of any natural events, earthquakes, flooding, tsunamis, hurricanes. I don't want to fill you with fear with these, but know that she's showing me that it's like you bring awareness, conscious awareness to all the things, and some of these may be important for your survival. And not I know this all sounds so dramatic, right? This is not worst case scenario, what she's showing me. She's much more gentle, widespread, but much more gentle. So not like the 3 days of darkness, more like an hour of darkness, right? As an example. So, and I don't mean, I'm not, please don't take this literally. I don't mean that you're not going to be able to see anything. I mean, more like you might lose power for an hour. And then for flooding, for example, she's saying, when you're clearing out everything, you start to get to know, it's like you do a re-inventory. And that first thing, we see this in movies a lot, right? When someone's in a spaceship or a ship, for example, and they're stranded maybe they're drifting in space. One of the first things they'll do, the survival technique, is to do an inventory of all the things you have. Like, okay, how much food do we have? How much water do we have? Let's start rationing. And you don't need to panic, right? It's just that when you do a decluttering process, intuitively and into your short-term memory, and that short-term memory will likely last as past 17th and 18th, is that you'll get a good idea of all the things that you have. Like, oh yeah, I've got a water container in the garage, or garage as we call it here. I'll go and get it. I'll fill it up in case there's any interruptions to the water supply. So these are just the happier, healthy precautions. And then, also making sure, especially if you've got snow in your area, you're making sure your driveway is clear. Should you choose to leave, making sure that your vehicles are all those little jobs you wanted to do, maybe you want to make sure they're nice and clean on the inside. Maybe less so on the outside, doesn't matter. The rain will wash all that away. Certainly my motorhome RV is a bit of a mess on the outside just now. So just really encouraging you to enjoy it as well. You lift your vibration a lot when you clear the clutter in your home. And I've got some decluttering to do today, actually. So I'm excited for that. Thank you, Gaia. Was there anything else? Oh, yeah. She just wants to go back to a question that was asked yesterday about telling loved ones about all this. She says it's far more important to lead with an open heart than anything else. And you could describe, there's no one out there making us safe, right? It's us. We ourselves as individuals make ourselves safe. And safety is a feeling. And it includes a spectrum of acknowledging, she's saying there are continued earth changes do have a degree of preparation. It doesn't need to be excessive, right? But as the world changes, there'll be big shifts in the way that civilization, as we as humanity decide to fuel ourselves, to feed ourselves. So allow yourself to just imagining increasing your buffer, for example, of the ability to hold a little bit more electricity, to hold a little bit more food, not months and weeks. You don't need to do it for years, right? It's just, at the moment, for instance, often supermarkets in the UK, they often only stock themselves for about 3 days at best. They'll be empty in 3 days, right? Because they're always optimized for this kind of financial peak of supply and demand. They're not interested in trying to keep you safe and fed during food shortages. And so just, having a healthy stock of tins, non-perishable foods or, non-refrigerated foods, having a simple way to keep a fridge or freezer running. Look up some of these simple things about freezers, for example. You can keep them closed. They hold their temperature for a long, long time. And you can have I've seen people have little Post-it notes on the outside of the freezer, and they'll say, okay, because when you open it, you let a huge amount of hot, warm air in. And so you just ration the amount of times you open it. So you have a little Post-it note saying, okay, midday today, I'm going to take out these 3 things. And I'll do it quickly, in and out, right? So it's just really simple techniques that go a huge way into supporting you through I'm not just talking about February, right? Mother Gaia is showing me it's that feeling of cultivating safety and bringing awareness to these aspects without being in fear. Our ancestors went for sometimes days without food. And without knowing where their next food would come from. They learned how to survive outside their homes for long periods of time, to live off the land. Humans, I know we've had a lot of ET intervention in our genetics. However, we do have genetics from Earth. We have survived on Earth without homes, without the modern luxuries that we have, including this very hot heater next to me. Let me turn it down. Okay, I'm sure we got time for one question, so let's go ahead and answer this. Beep, boop, beep, boop, beep. Oh, this is from Ilda 7739. Ooh, I love the sevens. Thank you. Hi, John. Portugal was home to a beautiful pine forest, Pinhal de Liaria, which was planted in the late 13th century by the order of King Dinis of Portugal, nicknamed the Farmer King, because of his strong focus on agriculture and land management. This forest at its peak covered 150 square kilometers and was meant to stabilize coastal sand dunes and protect I've lost my place. Stabilize coastal sand dunes and protect agricultural land around the area, Atlantic coast and central Portugal. A major fire destroyed most of the historic forest in October of 2017. It was a severe blaze, believed to have been deliberately started, which spread under extreme conditions and burned roughly 80 to 86% of the forest, reducing nearly all to ashes. Whatever was left, and any regrown, has now been knocked over and damaged in extremely strong winds, weather associated with Storm Kristen. I was watching a YouTube video yesterday with some YouTubers, the explorers. They're van lifers, and they built just a series of little. They have a place in Portugal, the land in Portugal, and they built like these little kind of little outhouses and things, and it was really all destroyed, and it felt like the tip of the iceberg for everyone in Portugal. So sending so much love to all those impacted. This area of this is January 10th, 29. Thank you. The area of Portugal suffered the worst impact of the storm, where winds peaked at nearly 200 kilometers an hour. Would you be able to ask your guides, Mother Gaia and Soul, if they have any messages regarding these events, why this happened, karmic links, and potential future weather or events that will continue to hit Portugal, specifically around this area, and why? Thanks for all the work you're doing. It's greatly appreciated. Oh, thank you. Thank you, Ilda7739. So quite a lot was coming through as I was reading all that out. The short answer is, so the first is the fire that destroyed a lot of that woodlands was, I was shown that, and this was Soul saying this, interestingly, that I saw one person starting the fire deliberately, and that they were guided to, burn down the forest, and it was to release the negative energy that the forest was holding. And so it felt very self-sacrificial. And it, just holding, I'm just seeing some of those visions and feeling some of those emotions. Like, that is a lot of trauma and a lot of destruction and a lot of death of many living things, that it was very self-sacrificial, and it was releasing a lot of negative energy. And trees do this, right? They will collect a lot of the negative energy of humanity and store them, and then begin to work them either down deep into the earth to be transmuted by Mother Gaia, or up out into the atmosphere. And okay, and the atmosphere. Okay, and so this next part is what in the area of Portugal. So this isn't just Portugal, right? This negative energy isn't just from Portugal. It's like being pulled in from around the world, and over time. I was shown that Storm Kristen that came in was also to blow out the remaining negative energy. And I think we had a little bit of a touch of it, just that for us, it was just strong winds in Scotland. We've had quite a lot of stormy and very wet weather for a long time now. And yeah, I was just showing this continued washing away and cleansing. This came up at the start, right? So these storms that are coming in are very much to clear, like literally clearing the air, clearing the collective energy, clearing away negative energy, clearing away the anger and fear of humanity. This is to serve us, and yes, it does require some, sadly, some destruction. And to your question about anything else coming up. So this is coming from Mother Gaia. She says, Portugal in particular really needs a break. And she says she can't guarantee this. However, she is doing her best, working with her teams of elementals. And she says, Mother Gaia says she has with her teams of elementals, earth, wind, air, fire, water, and electricity. There's this feeling of there's hard choices to make because this energy has to go somewhere. And so we heard earlier about Gaia and Soul spreading around, distributing a lot of these challenges. So not just always focused on one area, or at least only focused on individual areas for as long as it's needed to be, until the energy is cleared and released. And she's also saying, and the system's broken up. Do you remember last year when I was doing predictions video? There's a lot about, even individual buildings being targeted, releasing people that are trapped, that are imprisoned or enslaved somehow. She's saying, you'll spot, she says, look for the weather patterns because you'll see repeated attempts to release this energy and break up these old systems and shed those old skins, because they'll keep going to the same areas. And she says, please don't blame the people of the area. It's not an indication of like bad people. It's she's saying all of humanity's in the same boat. It's just whether the energy is like the deepest and darkest and also the most hidden that needs to be exposed and broken up and released. Thank you. So the short answer is no, there's not, there's nothing planned for Portugal. And it's not to say that it won't happen again. A lot of it depends on you and on our hearts and continuing to open up and process our own fears and our own shadows first of all, so that Mother Gaia and the rest of our family, including Sol and Luna, Galactic Federation and so much more, you don't have to have these big interventions, right? We can, as we're growing up as teenagers, as a civilization, we're learning how to process more of this within us without having to have these big events happen on the outside of us. Wonderful. Thank you, Mother Gaia. Thank you for your question. That was really beautiful, Ilda. Okay, let's bring today's session to an end. Thanking our guides, our higher selves, Archangel Michael, Archangel Raphael, Archangel Metatron, Sol, and Luna, and every soul that's participated in today's session. And please remain in your individual protective bubbles for as long as you choose, and step outside of the shared space now as I close it down and return to source, or never return here again. Please look after your beautiful bodies, your beautiful hearts. Keep a nice big open heart. Drink as much water as it feels right for you. Keep away from, this is just my advice, you get to choose what you do with it. Try and keep away from fear addictions and come back to your power. You're the one in charge. You're the one in charge of your reality. So please remember that as you observe many triggers that will continue to really only escalate. So we all, me included, have some homework to do to keep working on ourselves. We can do it. We can do it. That's why we came here. That's why we came to Earth, to help, right? Help ourselves, help our ancestors, help our loved ones, help all of the world, help humanity and every living thing. All right. Thank you so much, everyone. Oh, and please watch these videos here and here, and book me for a one-to-one session, and subscribe, like, hype, comment, all the YouTube things. Thank you. Sending love. Bye.